History is full of mysteries, but some events are so strange and unresolved that they completely challenge what we think we know. In this video, you're about to explore some of the most baffling moments from the past, stories that still leave experts searching for answers. Number 1. In 1920, in Palermo, Italy, a 2-year-old girl named Rosalia Lombardo died from pneumonia, a common and deadly illness at the time. Her parents were devastated and made one final request, that their daughter should look the same in death as she did in life. They turned to Alfredo Salafia, a renowned embalming expert. Using a secret chemical formula, Salafia preserved Rosalia's body with extraordinary precision. Her skin did not decay, her facial features did not collapse, and her expression remained peaceful. More than a century later, Rosalia still looks as if she is simply asleep. This is why she is known around the world as the Sleeping Beauty. Over the years, visitors have claimed that her eyes appear to open slightly. CCTV footage has fueled these rumors, leading to speculation about paranormal activity. Scientists, however, explain this as an optical illusion. Rosalia's eyelids were never fully closed, and changing light angles through the glass coffin create the appearance of movement. Rosalia Lombardo rests today in the Capuchin catacombs of Palermo. Preserved in a glass coffin, she remains one of the most remarkable examples of human preservation ever recorded, a quiet reminder of how far science, grief, and devotion once went to defeat time. Number 2. In 1764, the rural region of Gévaudan in southern France was gripped by terror. Villagers began reporting attacks by a large unknown animal that targeted women, children, and people working alone in the fields. Witnesses described a creature larger than a normal wolf, fast and unusually aggressive, with a powerful build and piercing eyes. Some called it a wolf, others a hyena or even a tiger-like animal. What was consistent was the brutality of the attacks. Official church and government records document over 100 deaths, more than 300 attacks. Most incidents occurred between 1764 and 1767. Fear spread quickly. Farming stopped, forests were avoided, and children were kept indoors. The crisis became so serious that King Louis XV intervened, sending royal hunters and ordering large-scale wolf hunts. Dozens of wolves were killed, yet the attacks continued. In 1767, a local hunter named Jean Chastel reportedly killed a large animal, after which the attacks suddenly ended. Later legends claimed he used silver bullets, though historians agree this detail is folklore with no solid evidence. To this day, the true identity of the beast remains uncertain. Theories range from an unusually aggressive wolf or a pack of wolves to an escaped exotic animal or a trained predator. None have been conclusively proven. The Beast of Gévaudan remains one of Europe's most disturbing historical mysteries, an episode where documented deaths are real, but the killer's true nature is still unknown. Number 3. In Russia, a religious group known as the Old Believers followed ancient Orthodox traditions. When the Soviet regime began persecuting religious communities, one man made a drastic choice to survive. In 1936, Karp Lykov took his wife and 2 children and vanished into the deep Siberian wilderness, cutting all ties with civilization. The Lykov family settled in a place with no roads, electricity, or communication, no nearby villages, only endless forest. They built a small wooden shelter, grew what little food they could, and survived on potatoes, grain, and wild plants. 2 more children were born in the forest, children who grew up never seeing another human being. They had no idea that World War II had happened. Humans had landed on the moon. The modern world even existed. In 1978, Soviet geologists flying by helicopter spotted a tiny cultivated patch in the forest. When they landed, they found a family that had lived 42 years completely cut off from society. For the first time, the Lykovs learned that the outside world still existed. Contact with civilization proved deadly. Within a few years, 3 of the children died, likely from illnesses their immune systems had never encountered. In 1988, Karp Lykov also passed away today. Only Agafia Lykova remains. Born in the forest, raised in total isolation. Offered relocation many times, she has always refused, saying, "The forest is my home." Agafia still lives alone in the Siberian wilderness, following the same simple beliefs and lifestyle her family chose decades ago. The Lykov family's story raises a powerful question. Is civilization necessary for life, or does home mean wherever a person finds faith, peace, and purpose? Number 4. In 1938, a story began circulating about an alleged archaeological expedition in the remote Kara-Ula mountain range near the China-Tibet border. According to the claim, explorers discovered ancient caves containing unusually small skeletons, about 3 to 4 feet tall, with thin bodies and relatively large skulls. The remains were said to look unlike normal human skeletons. Inside the same caves, the story continues. Researchers supposedly found circular stone discs, about 12 inches, 30 centimeters in diameter. A perfect hole in the center, similar to a gramophone record. Spiral grooves carved across the surface, marked with unknown symbols. It was claimed that hundreds of such discs existed. Later, a man identified as Dr. Sumum Nui allegedly decoded the symbols. He claimed the discs told the story of a non-human race called the Dropa, whose spacecraft crashed in the Himalayas thousands of years ago. According to this version, the small skeletons were the remains of these beings. Where the story falls apart, modern historians and scientists raise serious objections. There is no verified academic record of a scientist named Sumum Nui. No Chinese university or archaeological institution recognizes his work. The alleged discs are not publicly displayed in any major museum. No peer-reviewed studies or official excavation reports confirm the discovery. Chinese authorities have never validated the expedition or its findings. Because of this, most experts classify the Dropa Stones story as folklore or a modern myth, not proven history. Despite the lack of evidence, the story continues to circulate among UFO researchers, alternative history writers, alien contact theorists. They argue that some discoveries may have been hidden or lost over time, though no proof supports this claim. Number 5. The Salish Sea stretches between Canada and the United States, covering coastal Washington State, British Columbia, and dozens of islands. In August 2007, people walking along a beach in British Columbia discovered something horrifying: a human foot inside a shoe. At first, everyone assumed it was the result of a brutal murder, but the real mystery had only just begun. From 2008 onward, the same discovery kept repeating: human feet found on different beaches, almost always inside sneakers or running shoes. Never a full body, usually only one foot at a time. According to official records, more than 20 human feet have now been recovered from the Salish Sea region. The pattern was disturbing and impossible to ignore. Early theories pointed to a serial killer, organized crime, or ritualistic violence. But forensic investigators reached a very different conclusion. They found that modern sneakers are designed to float. Bodies in water naturally decompose over time. The ankle joint separates easily. When that happens, the foot, still inside the shoe, can float to shore. DNA testing confirmed that. Many of the feet belonged to people who drowned in accidents. Others were linked to suicides. In most cases, no crime was involved. Despite scientific explanations, some feet remain unidentified. Pairs are rarely found together. The discoveries continued for years. That's why the case still unsettles people today. Number 6. In 1815, England, Eliza Fenning was just a 20-year-old domestic servant. She cooked, cleaned, and cared for her employer's household. She was uneducated, quiet, and had no known enemies. One ordinary dinner destroyed her life. Eliza prepared dumplings for the household. Nothing unusual. Minutes after eating, the family became violently ill. Severe vomiting, intense stomach cramps, panic, and chaos inside the home. The most important detail: Eliza ate the same food and fell sick as well. Investigators later discovered arsenic in the dumplings. Without hesitation, suspicion fell entirely on Eliza. The logic was simple and cruel. Insowder, she cooked the food. Therefore, she must have poisoned it. There were serious problems with the case. No poison was ever found in Eliza's possession. She had no motive. If she planned to poison others, why would she eat it herself? None of these questions were properly answered. Eliza was charged with attempted murder. There was no direct evidence, no witnesses, no confession. Yet in early 19th century England, servants were easily assumed guilty. Despite public protests and petitions, the court moved forward. On July 26, 1815, Eliza Fenning was executed by hanging. She was 20 years old. Today, most historians agree Eliza Fenning was innocent. Her case is widely considered a judicial murder. Eliza Fenning's story is a reminder that justice can fail, fear and class prejudice can outweigh evidence, and sometimes the deadliest poison isn't in the food, but in the verdict. If you've made it this far, you clearly enjoyed the video. Make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the stories coming next. See you in the next video.